Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of In the Box Live. We have a very, very special episode for you today. I am Animal. I'm with my comrades and colleagues, Dookie Love and Andres, and we have a very, very special guest for you all today. We have Jack C. Lou in the house. How you doing?
The Jack.
The Jack C. Lou.
Yes, we are
pretty hyped about this. Are you as hyped as we are?
I am. I've been on and off watching your show since the launch, so I'm very glad to be on.
Oh, really?
That is awesome. Yeah, that's really
we're honored.
That's an honor. Absolutely. Thank you. So for anybody that doesn't know, I just want to let you give your own little intro. Tell us your background. Tell us what projects you're involved in right now, and just give us a little quick about me.
Yeah, so I'm Jack. I've been in the crypto space since 2013. Really, I call it Bitcoin space, and following Bitcoin around from the early days when I started my career as a blogger, actually, just blogging about Bitcoin. And then did time at Kraken, spent most of my time from 2014 to 2017 at OKCoin at OKEX. So that was based in Beijing. Then a couple years ago, was running the Circle Asia business. And since last March or last April, have been full-time in BSV. So I've been following Bitcoin from BTC and then to BCH, then to BSV. And the third time had to jump in full-time and do my own companies.
Awesome.
Wait, so third time's a charm, huh?
No, he's following on the right path, I think.
I hope so. So I actually mentioned that right now that includes running RelayX, which is the wallet that people like using.
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Very much so. Very fast.
Yeah, Float.
Very
Float
fast on Twitch, if you don't know.
Yeah, Float the exchange, and we did a couple of events with Cambrian, the boot camp, and then just starting off, about to kick off Output Capital. We'll announce the first investment or so next month.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're going to jump into that a little bit later. But going back to Relay X, been absolutely making some waves the past couple days since you announced Trade Mail. Give us a little bit of layman's terms about what Trade Mail is and what it does.
TradeMail is just a little tool that helps anyone who's using a BSV wallet, which still is relatively few of us. I think about 20,000 hit the count on Money Button. So anyone on Money Button, anyone on Relay or Handcash, Simply Cash, you can now all, just like you would using PayMail, which was introduced last year, you can just enter your address of any other crypto coin. We've launched 4 so far: Ethereum, BTC, USDC, and USDT. Just paste in the address of your choice on those chains and stick on a suffix, the @ symbol, then btcpaymail.com or USDCpaymail.com, and respectively. It's always going to work like that, a coin plus paymail.com. And then the coins basically just get sent away, and you will see those coins in BTC form on the other side within the next 5 minutes, and we'll make that much faster. So it's just a way to off-ramp from BSV.
That's so incredible.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about the implications about what that means and just for utility? I mean, obviously you can keep all of your BSV kind of in one pool and then be able to throw it to whatever other currency you need to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of interesting use cases. I think people in the initial reaction have, some people really get it. Some people think it's just like a way to get people out of their BSVs or something. I'm sure we'll talk about
scam.
that. Yeah, some exit
Blue's launching the exit scam of BSV.
But that's almost like saying that twetching itself is exiting 2 cents out of BSV. Like BSV is meant as a currency to buy things. Okay, it just happens that
Correct.
buying things on another public chain allows a service like us to ensure that you get your funds really, really quick. But you can imagine at some point those those trade mails represent fiat. They could represent an Amazon gift card. So you can just be like, I don't know, Amazon at something.com, and boom, in comes your Paymail with a gift card. So you can now shop essentially with Paymail. So these are just the first thing.
It's more of a proof of concept.
It's very proof of concept. We did not know what the reception was going to be. We have a lot in the pipeline, and this is kind of how we're turning the way we do things progressively, because Bitcoin happens really fast. You do not know what's going to work. You have no time to do a pitch venture day, then announce 3 months later that you might put up a private beta in 3 more months. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of great implementations. It's all about opening up the BSV technology into a wider audience, and that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's super incredible. I think that this is one of the most innovative things I've seen hit the BSV community in
Since
a long
PayMail.
time. Yeah, dude, this is absolutely incredible. Everybody's ranting and raving about that. And and for right now, you have to enter like a legacy Bitcoin address, and then at whatever currency you're going to, trademail.com, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about implementing
Is it trade mail or pay mail? Does it make a difference?
I'm calling the whole subject trade mail, but when you're entering, it's actually coin plus paymail.com.
Paymail, right? Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't mean to misspeak there. But you're saying that you will be able to actually like create a username just like you would create an email address, or like similar to what Money Button does, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. But we are going to maybe I'll announce it live right now how that's going to work.
Oh,
There you go.
oh, spicy.
This is an InTheBox exclusive.
I love it.
So make sure you get your relay handles. So these trade mails work across every single wallet, but to avoid confusion for every single person, we are going to reserve essentially your trade mails on every other coin with the same handle you have for relay. So if you're Jack at relayx.io, it will be Jack at USDCpaymail.com. That will be your alias. You have a chance to attach an address of your choice to that paymail. Does it make sense?
Wow.
Yes, very nice.
Sweet. So instead of, that's pretty freaking cool.
So you reserve that name
now-
for all paymails.
Yeah, so that's going to make it really easy for a lot of service providers who will obviously already know what your actual at relayx.io or one handle is. So you can then point them essentially to say, hey, send it to my USDC version or my USDT version. And they'll know, obviously, the attachment at the back end. So you won't have to remember it. That's how we're going to do it.
That is brilliant, Jack. I just
and
love
which
that.
also puts kind of like transparency to it as well, in a way, right? I mean,
yes. But the innovation
like,
we are learning from other places is we're going to charge $1 for it.
That's what I was about to say. Are you going to charge for the name?
We are going to charge as an add-on. Maybe we'll do something like we'll give away 1 or 2 coins of it for free,
Cool.
and then you're going to charge $1 each. It just costs us some amount of money to maintain these domain names.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that is $1 is not a bad deal.
amazing.
Let's be real.
No, it isn't. I bought a few pay mails for $1. I mean,
Say
you know,
the other
I don't think you have a
companies let
problem
you
with that. I mean, if
they let you turn around and sell them later too if you want.
are you going to be implementing something like that as well? If you're smart enough to buy this one for $1, will you be in turn able to capitalize on that in profit by selling it out on the market?
Yeah, we're not
Money Bug does.
I think this is not something we're looking at right now. Although I get the argument for the market-based swapping pay mails thing. I get that. If we ever to do that, we will probably make it without any exchange fees when you do that. Because I think it's either 1 or 2 ways, right? Either you really encourage people to switch this, in which case you want as little friction as possible, certainly a very low fee, or 0%, 1%, 2%, or you think it's a really bad idea for your users to switch it, in which case you don't want to allow it. Something like a 30% fee on that is kind of, you don't really know, it's kind of intrusion in the economics of how you want it to work.
Okay. So let's dig into the actual details of how that transaction happens. Does it connect with an exchange? Like, for instance, Float SV, is it connected with Float SV? Is that how that transaction actually happens?
There's some hedging happening behind the scenes on Float SV, but obviously Float SV is meant as a custodial exchange. So it's actually not very easy to withdraw from it in terms of real-time withdrawal. So what we actually want here is for allow users to go from one non-custodial wallet, essentially where you have your 12 words backed up, to another wallet that is likely non-custodial also. But obviously you can use it to move it into an exchange. You can use it to move it into your blockchain.info, I'm token type wallet on Ethereum. So what we're doing is much more similar to, I think, those third-party swap services that helps you go from coin to coin. And just as a proof of concept, we're basically using a couple of service providers that are known in the space for doing this business for a long time.
Right.
They have very good APIs, very good services. And then if we are not happy with that experience, we want to eventually make it so that this is happening in what I call a 111 type of idea. So 1% fees, 1 minute or less, and with any kind of error rate much lower than 1%.
Wow.
So that's what we want. Today is not there.
So
loosely said it's about 3%, it's about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So now, like, for example, since we're on the topic of fees, if I send, for example, $5 of BSV to a BTC address, there will be higher fees attached to that because it's mined on BTC, or how does that affect? So, like, what would the fees be right now if I was to send, for example, $5? Right?
We did it yesterday. You got $4.01. That's what I did from testing.
Okay, cool.
But 40 cents of that was actually the BTC mining fee of actually giving you the BTC on chain to you.
Sure. Yeah. So
that's like
different depending on which currency you go to. That's not that won't be a flat sort of rate for all currencies. That'll change depending on which specific currency you're going to, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so exactly. So we're gonna release a website where you can, I guess, log in, almost like looking at traffic or something, where you can kind of play around with the estimated amounts that you'll get. Because obviously Paymail is so convenient, you just put it into a wallet. We don't expect wallets to be able to surface real time some kind of fee box. If they want to, we're happy to build it for them.
Sure.
But there's some competing wallets who don't want their users to even know about this feature, right? So we will see what happens. Love to do that. But yeah, the fees are not fixed. It's going to get lower and lower. And I've talked to kind of our team. We think we can get the coins out at some point in the next few months, out within 10 seconds. So you will see it
What?
arrive on the other side in as Ethereum or whatever in 10 seconds.
That's insane.
That
But it would mean
that
we
is
have to
and
build the software ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even things like
Uh-huh.
exchanging on, something like Exodus wallet or something like that. I mean, that takes up to an hour to see your money on the other side sometimes, depending on
Yes.
what's going
Yeah.
on. So 10
Yeah, I
seconds,
have
that's
it.
incredible.
Yeah, and the issue with
Well,
that is to
and
exchange.
what's even better is
Exodus,
you don't
have
need to
load.
go through the middleman.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, so we made it. There's still a middleman, obviously. There's
Right.
not magic. It feels like magic,
But it doesn't
Sure.
seem like it, because you're not
Exactly.
sending
So-
it from ChangeMe and then ChangeMe is sending it over here. You're just
Exactly, and then
or if
ChangeMe
you put
doesn't
it into
accept.
Exodus and then
Yeah, ChangeMe doesn't
Sorry,
accept
go ahead.
PayMail, so you have to like paste in an address to either move it into ChangeMe, then you get credited on ChangeMe or something, and then you move it to something else, and then something else. So it's just a lot of things going on. And that fees is hard to calculate also. So we're going to try and
Right.
be very transparent. So I think it's a big change.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's
it definitely takes down the time dilation.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, then and like I said, man, this has absolutely been blowing up all over Twitch, all over Twitter. People are really excited about this. And if you're not
Calling
excited,
it historic.
it really is historic. And if you're not excited about it out there, please look into it and realize the potential. Really epic technology here going on.
For the coders out there who want to know really how it works, I'm happy to explain. The BSV
Yes,
is
please.
obviously paymails are a overlay on top of addresses. So it's a way to find addresses in the BSV system. So when you're sending to that paymail, what you're actually doing is telling us, asking our servers, what is the address associated with that paymail? We give you one of the addresses that is in our system. So the BSV goes behind the scenes to us or our third-party market maker. And then we, through you putting in your address or later on registering your alias with the address attached, we know where to send the funds to after receiving the BSV. So it's just a little swap like that.
Someone's asking, what are the max amounts you can use?
That's a good question. So we've been telling people about $5 and up, hoping people try lower amounts, but somebody's tried a couple $1,000s. So I think it's in the tens of thousands actually.
Nice.
But I would keep it under 5,000 just to be sure. Yeah, not just because
still a nice amount.
Yeah,
Still
but the fees are a little tricky right now, though. It's hard to calculate it.
At least for personal, I mean, it's not every day you have as your personal use for right now that you're sending 5,000.
Yeah, and I don't really see this being used for big transactions and whales trying to move a lot of money. This is more for in my opinion, sort of just for smaller stuff, for purchases, in the future when you're buying coffee, and this specific coffee shop only takes USDT, might be a good, that sort of kind of vague example.
Yeah, there's actually two ways to use it, actually, many ways to use it, but you could sit from the perspective of a BSV holder who says, now I don't need to hold the other coins. I will use this wallet because it's the only single coin wallet that also allows you to send to other coins. That's our perspective, right?
Yes.
The flip perspective is, if I am right now selling items for Ethereum or selling gift cards or whatever coupons for Ethereum, and I do not want to ever touch BSV, I heard BSV is a scam, okay? And I'm just a merchant. But there are people who I love to open up my business to in the BSV community, okay? What they could do now is just set up a trade mail without ever even setting up a wallet. That's actually possible, because they can just tell us what the address is associated with this alias they want, okay?
Exactly.
And then what will happen is they just tell users that's their pay mail. There's actually a protocol, I believe, that allows you to turn pay mails into a QR code. There's lots of fancy stuff we can do later on. And that will allow people from BSV to now essentially engage in commerce with people who don't want anything to do with BSV.
So that'll actually work with any legacy Bitcoin address, yeah? For the most part?
You mean for BTC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can hold BTC somewhere and get a legacy address, you can use this trade mail, period.
Yeah. That's right.
That is going to be really cool, like you said, with the personal trade mails, right? That for all the people, it does open it up to brand new markets. So you're opening them up to the market, but they're not necessarily using the coin, they're getting the coin that they want, or vice
Yeah, they get the
versa,
coin they want, and actually BSV gets the ecosystem that it wants. So look, right now,
Yes,
nobody
more
thinks there's anyone in BSV. Okay, so it's hard pressed to get them to start moving into BSV.
Totally.
They open this up, they see like 10% of transactions are coming from the BSV space, then 20%. Then some other person makes a great onboarding app, someone else makes great uptime monitoring, like whatever these other people are building, like Dean and Josh, etc. They're going to end up surprising a lot of people who are new to BSV with how much enthusiasm there is. So at some point, these merchants get smart and they're like, okay, I keep on asking this service, TradeMail, to switch it over to this coin that they want, but why do that and incur a fee when I guess over the last 12 months, BSV is the #1 asset class, #1 ranked performer in the last 12 months. So it's like a little gateway for them to eventually maybe take on BSV directly.
Nice incentive.
Yeah, I'd say so. So can you tell me, I don't know if this is poking a little too deep. Could you maybe fill us in on cryptos that are coming for TradeMail?
Well, we own the domain names for most of the top 15 coins.
Okay.
But we want to make sure the fees on these top 4 that we've launched get much lower first, because it's only going to be higher for these other coins. Like,
Right.
imagine trying to go from BSV to like Stellar or something, like something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And it's very questionable what the demand is for that too. So
Sure.
Correct.
Right.
but we need to be a bunch of people who bought these domain names after. So we just bought them all. So we could launch more. I think we're gonna stay with these 4, maybe at BCH.
Cool.
Soon, maybe later this week. And then we're gonna move on to the alias part and try and get more people using it that way. I can share that in the first day, less than the first 24 hours. I haven't checked today. We had something like 50 transactions.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that
Sweet.
you kind of
Hey, it's a start, and once the snowball effect happens.
Yeah, you sort of answered that question for me about where you draw the line. I mean, I don't, some of these coins may not matter and people may never use them. So
what's also interesting is we actually do plan to release this for Fiat also.
Whoa.
This is gonna be huge.
That'd be awesome.
Why would anybody not want to use BSV when it makes it this easy?
Yeah, exactly. Like the only reason
Or use Relay when it makes it this easy.
The reason BTC has a lot of value and then Ethereum got a lot of value is because they became like the center coin to all these other coins, right? And so say what you want about the validity of these coins, the more BSV is interchangeable with other things and it has the lowest fees when you're not changing those things, then it's a great coup for BSV. So the way Fiat would work is you might enter your phone number at whatever fiatwallet.com or something like that. And eventually what we want is
like a Zelle type thing.
Yeah. So, the easiest example would be something like this. Again, we're not launching this right now, but you can imagine like Paul at cashapp.com or something.
I was going to ask maybe a Cash App handle, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Where those aliases are already registered, so it's even easier.
Yeah, definitely.
So then you guys can actually withdraw to real fiat, and that could work on every wallet. Because I know a lot of people have a lot of their funds of BSV, because every BSV wallet is focused on different things, right? You can only tackle some things. And we want to make sure that the ramps work for all the wallets, not just for Relay, because a lot of people who love using Simply Cash or love using Electrum or something like that.
Sure, yeah. Very cool.
Very excited.
Yeah, you should be, man. I think we're all pretty excited too.
Says, let's go Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
PJM. Oh, that's the wrong one. Someone was asking if it's on chain.
Yeah, the PJM says, does each TradeMail use create transactions on the BSV chain?
Oh yeah, they do, because it's just like a regular PayMail transaction. You have that one BSV user to another BSV user transaction happening. And then just the other transaction is happening on another chain, but you're getting an extra transaction there.
That's amazing. Well, I'm going to stop harping on TradeMail for a little bit. I'm sure we could go on for a long time about it. I want to move into just some of the other stuff.
Yeah, we got.
Relay.
Now that we're over the easy stuff, right? Let's get into some of the hard stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we want to talk about the Relay 1 for a little bit. Can you tell us what are some of the benefits of kind of having the wallet within the wallet? thing. And from what I understand, it actually will increase your transaction speed on things like Twitch by using the Relay One sort of, I guess it's a wallet, but it's really more of a plugin in the Relay X wallet, no?
Yeah, so let me take you to what we want this experience to feel like very soon. As you know, that Relay is still in beta. It is actually in test flight in Apple. That will change relatively soon. And when that changes, we also have a new experience plan for users, which is that your Relay X, you'll just feel like that's your single wallet. It'll still be the 2 wallet behind the scenes, but you will not feel that anymore. You are just authorizing Twitch, authorizing Baymail, etc., and using it, and you're seeing a single balance on your wallet.
So there's no top up anymore.
I think a lot of people have been waiting for that.
Yeah, I mean, I can cross off about 4 of my next questions, because if that's the case, because asking about things like an auto top up function, being able to direct the money that you're getting from Twitch right into that Relay One, so you don't have to top off. So if that's all one thing coming soon,
But I'll tell you the origin of why we called it One was we wanted to make sure the tech stack, and One has its own no backend right now, and if it does, it would have its own backend. We want that integration to be open to every single wallet. And I would say that we came close with a couple wallets to essentially allow their users to log into One, and it'd be called like Simply Cash One or something like that. That's not the wallet I'm thinking of, but just give you an example. But essentially the idea is that eventually your Samsung Pay or your Apple Pay could do that. Now, we might not be the technology they choose, but the idea in mind was that everyone can have their own kind of cold storage or their own like mobile wallet, but this would be this interoperable one on the web. At least that was our positioning when we imagined it. It's since played out that people are really using it with Relay. So we're going to try and branding wise for the Relay users, make it a little more seamless. And that's what we're doing.
That's really exciting. We're kind of pretty avid Twitch users. We've played with all of the button swipes that we can possibly can, and 1 clicks and 2 clicks and 3 clicks and swipes and everything that we can get our hands on. And I can say that Relay is fast, man, and Relay makes Twitch work really fast. And the only thing, I think the biggest complaint that I've honestly heard from everybody in the Twitch community, well, not everybody, but everybody that complains about the one thing, and it's that they're constantly having to go in and top up. So,
you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, man, that really excited about that. No doubt.
We are too. And that's explains sort of why we didn't do any half-assed fixes.
Right.
Because we knew this is not going to exist very soon. But I won't give you a timeline on that, but hopefully it surprises you.
No, we wouldn't ask for one, man. Somebody posted, I think it was on either Twitter or Twitch recently, that said stop making announcements and just drop something, stop planning stuff and telling people when you're going to do it, and just throw something out at people.
I think trade mail was a pure surprise for everyone.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No. And the big idea is, like, I think when you first said, like, the people who see it, they see it. And I think one thing that even opened it up more is like when you said you possibly, like, for Amazon gift cards, you do it at Amazon trade mail or whatever the case is, or Best Buy trade mail, or what's even bigger, like you said, possibly doing it with Fiat. Like, I love Zelle personally. I had a lot of bad experiences with Cash App personally.
Sure.
But I noticed, like you did Venmo. And what's funny is when there was times, because I was buying BSV every week, that was my thing. I would try to take some of my paycheck, buy BSV every week. And then I was like, hold on, you could top off. And when I purchased through Venmo, the coolest thing was I think I actually bought it from you. So that was cool. So
did you guys quit doing that?
Yeah, we think there's a more effective way to do it. So, when BSV was very, very small, the big catchphrase in the whole community was we need to get dollars. And when we launched Float, everyone's like, we need dollars, we need fiat on-ramps, fiat on-ramps. This is like when creativity in the BSV space was at an all-time low, okay? Yeah. Now it's at a very high point. And the realization you get is that what we noticed is that people wanted to Twitch. People didn't want Relay, okay? People certainly did not want Cash App. So the idea that they were going to then install an app called Cash App, then put money into that for the first time, then put money into Relay, then just to Twitch is absurd, okay? So as BSV has more of its own economy, what you actually want to move Bitcoins to is if you needed other assets, these are the rankings, right? You ideally want to go from BSV straight to goods, straight to real goods, like you're using it as a real currency.
Yes.
You do not want to go from BSV actually to US dollars for those goods. The reason US dollars are there is because there's no one who accepts BSV natively. They accept dollars natively. So that's why you hold BSV as an investment, you use it, and then you later on turn into dollars. What the real vision here is not to make going to dollars seamlessly, but make it go from Bitcoin to real things seamlessly. So it looks like a much, much smaller market, but we think that's something that we can actually address with technology a lot easier. Because as things scale and volume scale with the fiat systems, you're going to run into all kinds of issues that will kind of hinder the experience. It's things that we cannot control with that experience that we like better with other things.
Yeah, exactly. And cash is nasty. Let's stop using it.
Yeah,
I agree. It is so unsanitary. It's disgusting. Even keypad, when you're using every time you put it in, I mean, you're touching a keypad that, thousands of people touch a day.
Right. Just use BSV.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of sites and stuff now, like, I cannot believe
another one you're thinking about, the gift card site, right?
Such a jerk. Huh?
You're talking about the gift card site?
No, the one that we have on the website.
Oh, Spend My Bit.
Yes, Spend My Bit. And then again, like
another one dropped today too.
Need to start building more businesses on BSV, and obviously not shut yourself out to fiat currency, because you want to get, like you said, as many people involved purchasing with essentially whatever they can. And when the trade mail thing comes out, fine, you want to purchase with BTC, send it here, and vice versa, it turns into BSV or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But closing yourself off to another form of currency that you can easily exchange into the currency that you prefer, to me, that just sounds stubborn, and you're gonna end up going broke that way. So that I think it is great. Like you said, it's gonna open up people's eyes as they see maybe people using less of the coin that they're using, and all of a sudden the volume of their business is going down because people prefer to use BSV, and they're going to have essentially no choice but to use the trade mail if they want to continue to use the coin that they want. So over time, you're shutting yourself out to your customers that might end up switching to BSV or whatever the case is. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I mean, you guys are huge believers, maybe even bigger believers in BSV than I am. Certainly by your enthusiasm and daily commitment. I'm actually moving.
Like Twitch, man.
Just Twitch?
No. I mean, we do believe in BSV. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
We really
100%.
do. But it's the utility of it that I think really turns us on more than anything else. So you're speaking our language when you're talking about use cases. Yeah,
the utility is only going to increase, and this is the math for. I guess the simple math for why everything will be on Bitcoin. I guess it's whenever you have to leave Bitcoin to do something else, you have to pay a fee one way or another. Even if you got to go to fiat for free, you still have to then pay the fiat fees when you use fiat. So eventually, you only get the cost savings if everyone's running on Bitcoin. So people are going to realize this more, and they're going to go more and more. Even for businesses in the space who have to pay employees or something in fiat, they have to incur a cost of switching over. So at some point, the team members are going to be like, I'll just take Bitcoin straight up. And so this will just expand. And I think we're getting people thinking. The fact that the price hasn't really jumped so much actually forces entrepreneurs to try different things. So I think this is a great feedback loop that's gonna help.
Feedback loop. That's a really great way to describe that. I like that a lot. So you mentioned, if I understood you correctly, you're saying that you're not doing the top up function in Relay anymore. Yeah.
We still are. I'm just saying that in terms of where you expect our innovation to come from, it's going to come from more digital forms, not coins, other digital assets, and expanding to fiat. So we're still the whole range, but just telling you, don't drop us expecting that we're gonna have, JP Morgan or on-ramp.
No, yeah. I totally get you.
You're not down with JP Morgan, man? You guys don't hang out?
I don't know. Maybe that's what CoinGeek New York is for. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh.
So I think one of the biggest issues that a lot of new users have, or new potential users have, of trying to get onboarded to BSV is just getting their hands on some to begin with. I mean, I know my personal experience was pretty awful getting my hands on it initially. Yep. I mean, I had to go through Cash App. I bought Bitcoin Core. I moved it to Exodus. I transferred it over. It was just not fun, really. And then so I think a lot of users choose your wallet because you do have that top up option on there.
It is amazing.
Yeah, that definitely does really help. So can you talk about like maybe the future of that? Are you going to expand on that, maybe make that easier to where it's like you don't have to connect through Venmo or Cash App and go through sending somebody money? I mean, is there going to be any expansion on the way that process works, or are you just going to kind of direct to other sites like Buy BSV and things like that?
No, we're definitely not doing the direct to Buy BSV and that kind of experience. We've learned to want to control the experience or give users the choice. But I think this comes to a great question, which is how do you get your first BSV, right?
Yeah, right.
I believe even adding fiat on-ramps is not the way to go, because here's the experience that people have from the wallet. See, you guys are stacked, okay? You guys have a lot of BSV, so you love opening your BSV wallet to see like, oh, it went up today, or have a tier, it went down. Every other user of a Bitcoin wallet that is coming into the space for the first time, they are seeing the number 0 on the homepage.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a terrible experience.
Yes.
So to ask someone who downloads something called BSV, which this wallet does not have a manuscript on the greatness of Craig Wright or any of this stuff, okay? Right. The greatness of BSV, okay? It does not have that. All it says is 0, okay? It does not help that person's feelings to see 0 and you can add BSV, or to see 0 and say you can top up a Venmo or whatever. It does not help them whatsoever. So you can have 1,000 payment options. The first question a normal person would ask is, why the hell would I freaking top up my real money that I just earned into this wallet?
Yeah, money I can already spend everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you really want to do is to make sure that the person's first interaction with the wallet is in the form of finding something they really want to spend, like, and buy. And then like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes to actually put money into this wallet to actually buy that item. Or there's an opportunity, a job opportunity essentially for me to earn money that I cannot earn outside of this BSV ecosystem. And let me jump on now so I can earn that Bitcoin. That I think should be the first experience. Making the on-ramp seamless to Uganda does not make people want to go to Uganda, okay? That's...
I want everybody in the chat to go ahead and type based.
We're so fucking based,
dude. Based, yeah.
Guys.
Yeah,
so people should need to know what they could buy, right? People should need to know, what can I use this on?
That's right.
I think one good onboarding experience, for example, is Twitch.
It is.
Owning your own personal data with a social media platform. And really, I mean, not that I know of, I don't think you could do that almost outside of any. Aside maybe, I mean, you got BitSV, a couple other things like that. But Twitch, I think, is going to be one of the biggest things for onboarding people to BSV. And the cool thing is, when people do that, they're going to see login with money button, and then they're going to wait like an hour and nothing happens. And then they're going to hit login with Relay X, and they're going to be in like that. Spicy. Was that too hard?
No, I think there'll be hundreds of wallets actually. So,
how do you like that? The competition, it's just open for everybody to build, and
I think it's beautiful. It means that you have to shift your strategy very much. So if you see from the beginning, we've launched 4 or 5 different companies or different wallets. This is with us kind of in our beta period as a team. So you can expect that number to jack up in the next 1 year. even more because the software gets easier and easier to build. People like who are crazy smart, like Mark Wilcox, is even disrupting what I'm doing. So it's going to be even easier to put software code on chain, have a market to buy that code, plug it somewhere else. I've always said that I think you can make an app within 1 hour at some point in the next couple of years. Almost any app.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's a pretty stellar prediction.
Yeah. So it'll come to a point where you will feel based if you're using your own product and you can't even code.
No doubt.
Yeah. Learn how to code and become a real.
It'll just be like using WordPress or something, you know, something simple.
Venture.
Yeah, exactly.
Adventure capitalist. You know what's actually a good idea that I just thought about?
Yeah.
How about Twitch implements like a leaderboard for wallets once hundreds of wallets come out and people could vote on Twitch, like what's their favorite wallet? And you gotta, going in the theme of leaderboards, I've been trying to think of stuff and that one just came up. I'm writing it down.
I know where I'm putting my vote.
I do think there's a good leaderboard to do for the whole ecosystem.
That's a new feature on Twitch. Yeah.
Which is how much BSV you made today. I think that for the whole world would be good to see.
That would be cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Really cool. I'm just gonna talk about the
go ahead.
Talk about the chat for a second. Got this guy saying, where can you make BSV if you don't have any BSV yet? That's PJM. And I just want to say we're gonna address that really soon. We have a video in the works that we've been working on. And we're gonna show you all the different
love down there.
All the different really kind of interesting ways that you can go out and actually earn BSV. So keep an eye out for that. I won't bug Jack with those questions, but we got you on that one. So just stay tuned for that. And Sir Newton says, "Can I ask what based means?" Nobody tell him.
We got Hunter in the chat.
Hunter showed up. There he is.
I was inviting him earlier. He didn't. Let me try sending him an invite. Hold on. Why is he not in here, dude?
Hunter's very wise.
He is wise.
Yes.
He's like a listener, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about Float SV a little bit. Let's talk about your exchange. Just delve a little bit into that. What are some of the benefits of using Float SV versus some of the other exchanges? How are you different than other places?
Well, I think the key difference right now is that you can get used to using Float, and then whenever tokenized launches or some other token system launches, you'll probably like to see Float have a much bigger differentiator then, because we'll probably be the first to list these tokens that are running on BSV. Nice. So we see it as a BSV focused exchange. A lot of people also just never even knew about OKEX, which is the platform it's run on. And so it's opened up a lot of people's minds to how great that infrastructure is. So it runs really fast. I think actually, in many ways, does more business than Binance. So it's a great exchange platform, first of all. And then you have actually some little features that people come to appreciate, like your referral fees on Float, you earn in BSV natively. You can do zero confirmation deposits to BSV, to Float. So you can get your BSVs onto the exchange much faster. So let's say the price was going up a lot and you want to sell, you have to wait many confirmations. On Poloniex, it's as much as 36 confirmations to begin trading. So you're looking at like from the impulse of when you want to trade, because most people don't want to keep their funds on an exchange, right? Because they're afraid of various risks. So from the time you want to actually pull your funds out of cold storage to get onto the exchange to sell, most exchanges are going to make you wait something like 20 hours, just 6 hours, 3 hours. And by that time, the price will have changed. So with Float, you can get it in there with the Relay Instant stuff much faster. And I guess I'll just do another announcement now since we're on this.
All right.
We'll be giving you Float SV pay mails very soon too.
Oh. I'm gonna have to start using Float SV.
You dog.
Dude, Jack, you're over here selling the hell out of me. You got a vacuum cleaner over there, or some kitchen knives or something that you kitchen knives SV or something like that?
And those will come with instant capabilities. So it'll be anyone who has a pay mail will naturally get the instant. Yeah, we'll tell you more details about that all next week.
Yeah,
By the way, if anybody wants to leave you a little slash pay or a little donation or something of that nature, a little coffee money or tea money or whatever the case is for, for your long nights of coding and stuff like that, where can they reach you at and how can they do that, man? Because I think we're gonna have to shoot you a couple little, something. You want some Ethereum? Send me some Ethereum.
You want some USDC? You want some USDT? Whatever, man. We got you.
Oh man, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You can send it to let's nominate River. Send it to her. She did a lot of promotions for Flow SV in the beginning, so she's been a great ambassador.
Oh, River.
Awesome.
So if you're watching this right now, all right, how many people do we have? I don't have my laptop.
I see 23 right now. I'll drop it off a little bit, but
23 people. All right. If you're on here right now, go on Twitch and do /pay $910 $, pick your own amount. If you don't, you don't exist.
The more zeros, like the better.
Yes. Just make sure to put a number in front of that 0.
People are asking, float in America or when's float US?
Hard question. I've been saying that there's no upcoming timeline for that, unfortunately. When you run an exchange business, you have to get properly licensed in every country. And the US is by far the hardest one. And if you look up what I did with OKCoin 2015, August, this is before the regulators in the US banned in the US, even before that. So before any word came out, we were first. You can see on CoinDesk that announced OKCoin blocked US customers. And then OKCoin did not re-enter US until it got properly licensed. So I would say that if you have a huge exchange that is trading all kinds of stuff right now, you have the capital to go get those licenses. If you are an exchange like us, we just want to avoid the United States. It's a hurt to our business for sure. We have a lot of people who are interested in Flow SV. But if there was a partner at some point down the line where Flow became much more interesting in terms of the number of tokens it trades on the BSV chain, obviously we have a great brand, we have a great supporting base of users, then we can see ourselves partner the Fiat side with a US regulated exchange or money license services. So until that comes to the picture, I think you'd have to go with Bittrex or something else for now.
Well, KP Dad says they print money out of the air. How hard could it be? Talking about the US here. Also, we have Mark Wilcox says, when's Frog Vision on float? Mark Wilcox is asking.
Oh man, well my track record is I think pretty good in terms of supporting all kinds of forks and such. So we'll see. Put up a code base. We'll
Have you been doing have you downloaded the Twitch SDK?
We're actually going to be publishing some of the stuff. I know everyone knows that there's no RelayX Flow Twitch account right now. But when we do, we'll do something creative with that and use the Twitch SDK.
Sweet. So you're gonna have like a 5-digit user number? Where are we at?
We might have a few lower. We might have a few lower numbers in store to pull out. Yeah.
Don't worry about it, Andre.
Yeah. I'm still digging that leaderboard idea for wallets. I think that'll put out some great competition. Nothing like a good leaderboard to spice up the competition. Randy, if you're watching this, you know what to do.
The leaderboard is going to be pretty boring right now. It'll just be a big money button at the top and then relay much further behind. So the other wallets have to keep up. Yeah.
I think you've been catching up quick, man. I've heard a lot of people singing your praises.
Well, you're in the frog Hunter says, which wallet is going to be InTheBox's first sponsor? RelayX is the front runner at this point. Thanks for the donation a couple of weeks ago, Jack.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We're going to have to make some more little meme videos.
Yeah, exactly.
That one that Hunter did is based.
Oh, yeah.
For Sir Newton, was it? 166?
I think so, yeah. So I want to just give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about Cambrian SV and Output Capital too. Tell us what those projects are like and what the future holds.
I just followed Output Capital on Twitter today.
Oh wow. Okay. Which one would you like to go first?
I'm more curious about Output Capital. I think I'd like to hear about that.
Agreed.
It's so
So we'll announce our first announcement very soon. We've been talking to entrepreneurs in this space. It'll probably surprise people what it is. But Output Capital essentially only invests 20K or under in the form of BSV into projects that we think are delivering transactions on chain. And all we want in return is a percentage, a very small percentage, single digit percentage of revenue share that happens on chain. So it's almost like branching, but for businesses, right? It's like,
wow, that is awesome.
We'll give you a little bit of money so that you can kind of scale up your business. And if you don't know how to scale up your business with 20K, you don't know Bitcoin. This is all I'll say.
That's epic.
The Relay X Shark Tank, dude.
A little bit like that.
Jack C. Cuban, huh? Is Cuban your middle name, bruh?
I'd like to own an NBA team, that's for sure. So,
yeah. Oh, I have a funny feeling that you probably will one day.
Yeah, and I've made some side deals with people, which is like, hey, if I can't afford one, how about you buy one, and then I'll just be your coach or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is you're just stoking the flame of the BSV building community. I mean, is kind of what you're saying.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think this is the business model of the future, I believe. So today you need the CFO to give you like a board update every 3 months because you have no way of finding out what the hell their business is doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you need that financial statement in-house to be audited by a Deloitte, okay, who themselves just probably don't know what they're doing either. That's why they get caught in these scandals, in Enron, in these accounting things. So what you really want is the entire business that you're investing in to be happening on chain so that you could be getting a text notification every time their business grew 5% for a day. That's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. So if you're an investor that's not looking on chain for what's going on with the business you're investing in, you are like investing in the dark. Okay.
Yes.
And the way BSV companies are being funded right now, there's money being paid off chain and nothing going on chain because a lot of these businesses still think in traditional VC terms, like, oh, this is just my seed round. This is just my angel round. I need like a year before, I'm ready to announce my private beta. Then I'm gonna need to go raise another round because the employees or the team members they found are all people who are like, wow, BSV is a hot topic. There's money throwing around. Let's get into this thing and grab some of that cash. Like, we don't want those kind of mentality people, not because we don't want them to make their cash. It's just we as holders of BSV don't want to be exerting resources in people who are not delivering on chain. It's not good for them. It's not good for us because they're going to end up very disillusioned in 3 or 4 years when they have to fold up their company saying that, but I followed every single advice from Paul Graham. I followed every single advice from Sequoia Capital. How come my business didn't work on BSV? It's because the games of business has changed with BSV. Twesh knows that. A lot of people, Cambrian knows that. People either knew that on their own or they knew that from somebody else, but the game is changing. It's going to change even more. And the whole idea of Output Capital is just to seed you with a little bit of cash. You probably don't even want more cash and let yourself earn the revenue share on chain.
Wow.
That sounds amazing. And everything, because when you're running a business on chain, it's essentially you can have it as secure as you want, but for the people that need to access that, it's almost like instant metrics on chain. It's essentially in real-time metrics. Everything that has to do with running a business, putting it on chain can be essentially instantly viewed. It's immutable. I'm sure it's harder to manipulate numbers before you sell a business, things of that nature.
Yeah.
A lot of times before somebody sells a business, they'll kind of,
pad the numbers a little bit.
Make the books look good before they sell a business. So do you think
it's about transparency?
Business on transparency and more accurate like valuations of companies, right? On chain, that would make so much sense, right?
So what's really interesting here is what we think is going to play out, which is that nobody wants to be transparent when there's no reason to be transparent.
Right.
Other than, oh, look at me, look at how much money I make, or whatever. No one wants that.
Exactly.
The reason the U.S. equity market is the most transparent market in the world so far, up until Bitcoin, is because those companies who do follow the transparency rules of reporting, accounting, having investor calls and financial statements, they end up being able to raise more money, being more trusted by the investing class in the U.S. So the real breaking point for BSV on-chain transaction transparency is when you can now invest on-chain in these companies. So then anyone who's putting 50% of their freaking business off-chain and not showing that on-chain is going to end up raising much less money. Okay? So the idea 100%. That you do not know today how many users Handcash has is a joke. That is not sustainable.
Bam.
They're going to have to reveal that.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I hear you.
They will have to reveal that if they want to raise money from the public markets, which is now BSV. That's the future. If you want to stay private, you can, and there's a different strategy for that. But I think you're going to be better off revealing these numbers on chain. Just like Twitch is not exactly on chain, I guess, but you can see the users at 10,000. It actually happens to give you a network effect, because then you feel like there's some credibility, like this actually has 10,000 users and it might become the next user.
Yeah, you don't get the vibe that they're trying to hide that from you. You know, that
correct. Which is cool because it's probably the most transparent, because you could literally just type in twitch.app/u/ and see what the last user number is. And
it's great because right now all these companies spend half their time writing pitch decks to their investors to tell them about how many users they have, having them sign an NDA first. Then they have to build a backend for their employees to look at how many users they have and their data. So you're looking at what these companies are doing. They're spending a lot of time building these analytics things for themselves, their own customer service agents, etc. If that stuff was on chain, there will be other businesses who are professional Bloomberg of the blockchains who are going to show you all that stuff, and they're going to make a few cents from showing you that, so that everything is just like really seamless. It's better for everyone. It's going to get there. Don't fight it, and just embrace it.
100%.
But dude's got a PhD in Based, man. Have you noticed?
Yeah. Dude, Jack, this has been amazing so far. But we're going to be getting to what do you have
Sir
to
Newton
say?
says, Jack speaks, I hear him. Point Alchemist, go off, King.
Yes.
Go off, King.
Jack speaks truth to power.
I don't know where you guys are seeing this chat.
It's in the live chat.
It's on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, you guys, man, you're a hero to a lot of people, Jack.
Yeah,
let me tell you something.
Sure.
You sure you don't got a cape back there somewhere? Or at least some goggles.
There's a lot of great people. No, there's a lot of great teams. I've learned more from everyone else, honestly.
Dude, you're so right, man. I feel like everybody that we talk to in this entire community that's building something, I mean, it's crazy. I feel like you guys are all just out to compete, yet help and promote each other. And it's kind of an incredible environment. I mean, I've never really witnessed anything like it, to be honest with you.
Everybody wants to see it succeed.
Go this much into BSV, but this has been like special because it's big updates. We're gonna get into some cooler questions here in a couple moments, the real hard questions. But aside from that, like, what would you have to say to every single person that's building a wallet on BSV right now, being that you're in that experience? What would you want to what knowledge or wisdom would you want to share with them that you've learned that you might not have shared in the past, that you thought, man, if they just heard these few words, that would I'm
going to expand that. Not even a wallet, right? If you're building an app on BSV at all.
Yeah.
Same question.
I see. So let's take the app question. I don't want to give away the wallet secrets.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But it's really boring too. It wouldn't be the business I would be in. I'll tell you why we built a wallet is because money has to sit somewhere. So money has to sit in the wallet. That's not because we want that money. It's because you want money, which is Bitcoin, to be circulating as much as possible. So we want to make sure that we built a wallet where it could be fast circulating, so that when these use cases came up, we were making sure that we could control how open we are to opening up the wallet so that we don't make a closed ecosystem. We're not trying to extract value. We want to grow with BSV. So that was kind of what we wanted to do, was control the experience, make sure we were aligned to our vision for Bitcoin. For the apps, where do I start? Well, we learned a lot from hosting both Cambrians. It's a good time to catch up on it. We got 30, 40 developers to fly over to Bali and then to Lisbon. These are developers, sometimes they were working on enterprise apps, sometimes they were working on consumer apps. And I think they'll all tell you, to a man and women, that there are things that they would do differently to make the product go faster. I think even Twitch would think that they could done something differently to launch even faster. So I think we're seeing new versions of companies that are launched a lot better. I would say that here's what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna come in as an app maker, and the first thing you're gonna think about is, well, I want my app to be used by people beyond Money Button and beyond Relay. So you're gonna be very tempted to build a wallet. And I can tell you that some companies like Wayblock spent a lot of time building their own wallet. This is before there was Relay Relay 1 with no swipe. So they're looking at the right ways from that perspective, which is, hey, seems to me like Money Button's a bottleneck to my business, okay? Seems to me like Relay is a bottleneck. The fact that Centbeat users can't use my business is not good. So let me do a QR code kind of on-ramp stuff. Do not focus on that. Like, let these wallets all die if they have to. Just make a bet that someone's gonna make it there. If it's not one of us wallets, it's someone new. If you're focused on the social media business, focus on that business exclusively. Make do with the fact that there are other things. Take a lesson from the page that even Twitch, as big as they are, clearly they are great product makers. They may one day make a wallet that wipes us all out, but they still haven't today. That's allowed them to focus, right? And they're riding that upside now that Handcash has come out with Connect. A lot of people are coming out. They're going to keep on growing on their user base. So if you're making a wallet, I guess don't fall into the trap of the VCs, which is telling you to build like a crazy defensible business, because they're just lying to you. In Bitcoin, almost no business is defensible. So come up with something original, really launch it, embrace your first 10, 20, 50 users. Who cares? We're happy. We're being talked about on this show right now. And we don't even have, we're not even in the Apple Store yet. So the community is very embracing of new startups. But the key is, when there's a sea of startups, people need to know what you stand for, what you work for. And once they do, there are people who are going to come in and help. I see on Twitter that Stephen of any page just said, Jack, I'd love to help you integrate gift cards directly into Relay. What's your Bay mail? So that kind of stuff will happen to your business naturally. So just ship something, anything, and go from there.
Love it, man. Love it. A couple really cool things coming across in the chat.
Billy.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit Jimmy Odom here first. Says opinions on companies attempting to erect walled gardens within Bitcoin.
I think it's a terrible idea. It's just a terrible idea from even the company's perspective. Okay, like it's not like me as a theorist hoping to society. This is not some Occupy Wall Street, Occupy walled garden type of approach. This is basic mathematics. If you have a walled garden here, it is not defensible in Bitcoin. Okay, so it's just a waste of your time. You're going to end up attracting people who have a false sense of security in terms of your business. So like someone's like, oh, I'm really psyched to join your company and work there because you have a moat. So then you have a bunch of people who want to sit around in a cafeteria and like enjoy. This is the nature of Silicon Valley, right? Maybe the first 2 years of people at Facebook or Instagram, people are working very, very hard with that kind of, I want to add new features mentality. The last 10 years, a lot of people are just in the, I want to kind of sit on this moat kind of mentality. The first thing you think about when you go to Facebook is, what are the benefits? What are the perks? What's the like campus looking like? Nothing against that. That's just because the technology hasn't existed to kind of break that. Bitcoin is going to break that. Your opportunities in Bitcoin do not come from building a walled garden. And the reason why you build a walled garden in the first place, I think, is not because users, your founders like that. It's because they think they've been told that to IPO or to get acquired by a big company, you need to have a defensible business. So big companies like to acquire startups because it's like, I don't have to do anything. I just go borrow some money from the banks in corporate debt, and then I'll just fund this acquisition, buy it, After I buy it, I just squat on it and it just works, right? So that's what the
Google
people
does it all the time, right?
Huh? Sorry?
Google does it all the time, right?
Yes, exactly. So you think that to get acquired right now, you have to build one of those moats. So that's why I think what's drawing a lot of people into building those things. But I think there's going to come a point where the acquired backs out of the deal. Like, they're not going to buy your company anymore because they're going to be like, wait, it's not run on a private blockchain, it's run on a public chain. Who are these competitors that are in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka? Who are these people? What do you mean that this is how your business works? So the moat that you build will show a lot of leakages very quickly.
Yes.
Right? It's catch-22. If everyone succeeds at building a moat, BSV price goes to 20. Okay? Right. And then no one's buying your business. Okay? Because exactly. Like you have no users. If BSV skyrockets and you're part of it, but you sit there with the moat, everyone's gonna see through your moat. Like it doesn't exist. Okay? So you just wasted precious time not building great things for your users instead. So you don't need that moat. You don't need that huge golden parachute, that huge exit, because what you can do right now is you can start easily by, even if you don't know much code, just whatever your company makes on chain, maybe every week you dish out 10% of that to your team or something, 20%, 50%, whatever it is. At some point, somebody's gonna automate that. So, you know, Baymail's made it software for email. Somebody's gonna make a software for disbursements of profits or something like that. So you just click, and then add people's Paymail on your team, put the percentages in, add your like company Bitcoin in there, and then immediately it's auto disperse, right? When those software comes, and then some exchange like Flow or someone else will make some kind of fundraising app that you just enter your app ID, you know, and then that crowdfunding is done. Those things are coming. So when that thing comes, then all this stuff gets automated. It'll be much easier. But it's important right now, even when that stuff is not there, to build that culture so that you are built to succeed as BSV succeeds.
Well said, man.
Love it.
I love that answer. Billy Rose here says, when Twetch in-app widget to buy or sell BSV?
Hey, ask Billy himself. Maybe he should get working. We're ready.
Yeah.
Based Lou, dude. You are like more based than based stick man, dude. Holy shoot.
Although the full answer to that is they probably don't like the experience enough, so we have to improve some of the way our widget works. So Billy,
Joseph.
I don't want to get into a meme more with you. You're too good at that. So.
That's great.
Hey, Jack, let me ask you a question, because during, like, for example, the Coin Geek that Elon gave, that Moisty gave, right? By the way, not naked, the one that he gave, he mentioned that if he has to, they will come up with their own wallet. Can you tell Josh and Billy right now that with confidence that you could say you're always going to provide an amazing experience? You guys don't have to worry about the wallet side. Continue working on Twetch.
That's what they've said. They only want to worry about Twetch. Yeah.
No, I think Twetch, there's a lot of game theory here, right? So I talk to Josh all the time, and I think it's great if they make their own wallet. We will obviously suffer in the short term, but I think the question that we ask is not looking at Money Button and Relay and saying, hey, I can build a better wallet, maybe 10 times better right now, and therefore I should do it. It's not as easy as that. You might be able to build a 10 times better wallet, actually. So they have a great team. They have a great, obviously, teamwork ability, technical ability. So they probably could do that. But the question is, while you're doing that, is it possible that someone else builds your core business better than you in the meantime? So your competition, your comparison is not Ryan versus Jack versus Josh. There is other unintended, unhidden seen things, right? So you might find out that you did make a wallet 10 times better than Relay, but in the same time, somebody else built a wallet better than you. Someone else built social media too. So it's a calculus, right? So I think with where they're sitting and where they want to go, their targets are really Twitter, are Facebook, Evernote. They could be the interface, what's on chain for everything.
Right.
Yes.
So they have bigger goals to achieve for right now. They're not sitting on their laurels like, hey, I'm bored. What else can I do? I'm already number one. I got 10K users. Let me go build wallets. So I think their first instincts, I think is correct, is not to build that wallet. But you will almost feel like it's a wallet. So right now, for example, they haven't coded any wallet software, but you can already do /pay. And then you can do like /buy, /sell. You already have follower lists. All using Twitch.
Either relay or money button.
Exactly. So they can do all this, right? And I think that's already good. That's essentially making them very, very wallet-like. They could even do like /get a loan or something. Who knows? Like they can do all kinds of stuff with financial services.
/sponsor loan or whatever, like crowdsourced loan.
Yeah.
You know?
So they got a lot of cool things they can work on.
So much, right?
There's a great stuff. This is what I mean. So. But obviously we need to step our game up, and we're the youngest wallet, but we can't depend on that line forever. At some point, it's like, it's been 2 years, buddy. Like, what is going on with your wallet, right? So we need to step our game up, and we will try to do that. That's what I will say for Twitch and for all the other apps. And I'll be very neutral here. I like Josh. I hope like his whole team. I hope Twitch succeeds. But if someone else is going to destroy Twitch, I want to be the first wallet to be integrated into that also.
Word.
Oh, Jesus. Do you have a microphone so you could just like do the drop or something like that, and then just walk away into the sunset?
So there was a really great question that I don't want to. It was asked a little bit earlier. Joseph Mallory says, "Are the investments going to be made through smart contracts that distribute the percentage of revenue automatically?"
Yeah. So let me talk about that. Can I just cut off this interview for the next 10 more minutes? I got to move again, like to another department.
Dude, you take all the time you want. We're probably going to scream here like little fangirls while you're moving.
We got 30
No,
something
I meant
people
like I have to get off the call. I have to get off the call in 10 minutes time. Okay.
We can run.
I'll just put it on mute.
We got 10 minutes left. Is what you're saying.
Yeah. But happy to come back on anytime you want to have me.
No problem. Yeah, great.
So the investment side, right? So after we posted that, and this is why, as long as you position your company or idea correctly, people are going to come help you. And so immediately what happened was, I won't name who it is because they might want to IP patent this, whatever they want, the building. But somebody's going to build some software where it's like, Bitcoin script is back, right? With Genesis. So now all the proceeds of a company transaction can go into a script. So all the money's sitting there. And as soon as some funds reach a certain threshold number, it gets auto sent out to the employees, founders, and the investors. That is cool because right now, if you do a like on Twitch is making 1 cent, right? If they have 100 people they want to disperse that to, that is too much mining fees. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like 90% of the money is going to miners.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. So then you have a centralized solution where Billy tells you, hey, don't worry, I'm going to share your revenue, but he has to then remember to, do this every week or something. It's very stupid. So people are going to make scripts like that. We obviously will take advantage of those technologies built by others or built by ourselves. So you want to think about Output Capital not as a technology company. It is actually just like a buy-side firm that's making investment bets. It just happens to make it in a format that is very high tech. But we do not foresee Output Capital having engineers, designers, and things like that. So we have a very kind of landing page like those investment firms. And so the partners of Output Capital are going to be more investors type, not the builder type. But that's kind of how we're positioning it.
That's amazing.
and you swear that trade mail is not a BSV exit scam, right?
little no comment on that. I like that.
I don't know what I want to say. I think my track record is pretty. I want to make a joke, but then you don't want to make a joke in this kind of
yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
You know what? I know you don't have much time left. It's kind of been a tradition here. We like to kind of pump you out of your comfort zone and ask you some personal questions. Just kind of get to know Jack the person instead of Jack the CEO of Relay a little bit. So I have just a couple of little rapid fire things for you. Give me some hobbies outside of crypto. What do you like to do, man?
I used to watch a lot of NBA, a lot of sports.
Nice.
I actually learned English from watching those debate shows like ESPN First Take. I like that kind of sports shows and things like that. So basketball is a big one. I've recently started trying to golf a bit more. as well.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
as the body
How's
gets
that
older,
going?
you have to start golfing and test your patience as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
How's that going? What's your handicap, Brett?
Well, really bad. So I have a good iron game. My driver is really off, and I need to work on the chip. Yeah.
Okay.
This virus doesn't
Speaking of
help. This
games,
virus does not help.
What about
speaking of games, video
Yeah, go
games?
ahead.
What was your first gaming system, if you ever did play video games?
Yeah, it was N64.
I've got a lot of N64 users.
Well, I guess
huh?
if you
Just a
count
couple
Game
times.
Boys, it was much.
Oh yes, you remember the
Yeah.
Virtual Boy?
Oh no, I don't.
I never got to have it. I never had it. Dude, as a kid, I wanted that thing so bad because it was like in red. You know what I'm saying? It was awesome.
showing his age a little bit over there.
Yeah, no, I was a pre-freaking Virtual Boy. I could tell you
And
that.
I got to the PS2, and then after that, I stopped buying game systems. So
Okay, right on. So what about music, man? What do you listen to? What do you got in your headphones when you're coding stuff?
by the way, I don't code. Okay.
Well, not code. This just
But it just works.
It just works.
Yeah. Well, my Russian engineer has been giving me some crazy kind of mix list that he does when he listens to, and so that's got a lot of like
Okay.
very funky electric type stuff. But normally is much more just like rap, hip hop, EDM type stuff.
Sweet.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. And give us your bucket list, man. What do you want to accomplish before you kick it?
I want.
You already said basketball team.
Yeah, I like to coach basketball. I like to win like a state championship kind of a thing. Coach sports.
Cool.
That's definitely on the bucket list. And I want to be able to make a lot of money doing that too. So I want to make sure that the proof of work concept spreads into the whole society for sure. Other things on the bucket list, obviously have a family. That's very important to me. You know, this Bitcoin stuff is really just a path towards a better future. It's not the be all end all. Other things, I've actually been very lucky. I've been able to travel to a lot of places in the world already. So I don't have too much, travel related bucket list, but, just be a part of maybe 100 businesses in BSV. I think that'd be a really cool thing.
That's
in one way, shape, or another. I think that's.
Let us know when you're ready to invest into InTheBox. All right, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you don't want to make it that public, you don't have to use /pay.
Exactly.
Right.
And so,
have you guys ever revealed why you're doing this or what's your long-term game plan? Because obviously there's something here.
It's experimental and it kind of changes every day. I mean, he totally just flipped it on us. We were not prepared for this. Honestly, I think our whole deal is that we wanted to be unique in that we didn't want to talk about BSV the whole time. We've talked about BSV more in this interview than we have ever
all combined.
Yeah, because we really wanted to be a prime example of users. Like for me, I'm a music producer. I'm a musician. I'm an artist, and BSV and Twitch gives me a platform to actually go out and monetize that, and something that I haven't been able to accomplish with other social media sites, and give me reach that I never was able to obtain other places. And I fell in with these guys, and it's really just a case study. The people here and the community here are just a very interesting people. I mean, I feel like I could make a documentary straight up Tiger King style about all of these people, right? Because everybody's got such a unique story, right? So that's sort of what we are about. I mean, we want to talk about BSV and the MetaNet and all of that too. But really what it's about for us is how people are using it, how people got into this, and what the future is going to be like. Just a place for everybody to come and learn, and just a way for people to connect from the outside world into our little niche market. Is sort of our.
What about you, Dux?
He's muted.
You're on mute. You got to mute it, bruh. You're still muted, bruh.
We didn't know what we were doing when we started this for real.
No.
But I don't know. We all knew Twitch was going to be something big, and we wanted to be part of that somehow, do something in it. We all had kind of a same vision, but hopefully it turns into something. I think we're going the right way.
I don't know. I saw the vision, Dux. I told you from the beginning, from the first phone call. But
Yeah, Andres is
just
the
like
dreamer.
these boys said, I mean, look, you can't do what you're doing on, and I know you got to go, so I'm going to make it really quick. For me, when I saw the monetization just with the likes, if you get 15,000 likes a day, that's $600. By the time that Twitch app scales to the platform where Twitter is, and you're in the, I mean, this could maybe possibly be a career if you know, if it gets to that point. And right now with the coronavirus, it's made it even a lot easier. We've been able to do this in the box live, just sit here for a little while. So we're trying to make the most out of that.
I'm glad you said that. You know, we
Being
haven't
without
brought
a
up
job has sucked, and
yes,
we've
it has.
actually we're about to start monetizing very soon. And what we want you to do is we need you to send us like a PO box or somewhere where we could mail you something.
Yeah, we'll
Get you out some
we'll talk
little
after
swag
about
bag,
we got a little something in store for
All
you.
right, when the camera's off, I got a little something for you guys too, in terms of how you gonna monetize.
That's amazing. So I just got to I'm really glad that you brought up the coronavirus quarantine thing. We haven't talked about that at all, which has been a breath of fresh air, in my opinion. But I do have one question about that. How has the quarantine affected your business? Has it made your progress with RelayX faster or slower, being able to just be stuck at home?
We were very unaffected because most of our team is stuck at home regardless.
They work remotely.
Right.
We work remotely. So
yeah,
it's good. It does make us bullish on a lot of different products that we're building right now, because it means that the rest of the society right now is very open. They're very open-minded on how to work, how to create value, how to monetize value. Twitch is one way to do it. There's going to be other ways. So I think this is a great time for BSV entrepreneurs to kind of go in. And I think to the point that maybe Paul was asking earlier about earning BSV, I think it's very important not just to look at it like, which are the cool apps in BSV? Here, let me make 50 cents running a node on BitPing. Let me make 50 cents getting likes on Twitch. I think you want to present it from a perspective to the average person who's right now suffering from coronavirus, which is like, what, if anything, is there in BSV that allows you to make more money with your time than you could otherwise be making money with your time? That is the real metric. You have to go 10x on that or 5x on that. Mm-hmm. It is not about comparing what do I make on Twitch versus what I make on Twitter. That's an easy comparison. It's 0 on Twitter. You can make half a cent and you can be like jerking each other off and being like, that's great. Okay. That is not getting anyone into BSV.
Right.
That is right.
Okay, that is getting BSV investors talking their own book on Twitch. Okay.
That's it, man.
But they're moving into this. They have /pay. They have, you know, different things they're paying for real gigs that you get paid $100, $50. BSV is doing that. So I think very quickly these systems are going to become a better way to earn money than anything else you could do, because no one's going to be even when the coronavirus is over, right? A company's going to be very hesitant after just furloughing thousands of jobs to just commit to hiring people full time right back again.
Exactly. Yes.
So you're going to you might be only getting half the hours you used to get. So now you have this other half of your time that's free. You're going to be very open-minded. You got to find a way as a business to say, for 100 people, for 1,000 people, for 10,000 people, is there something I can offer them that can allow them to make real money more than they make otherwise in whatever job? That's, I think, is a big breaking point for BSV. No other chain can do that. That's our opportunity. I hope we seize it. That's the message I'm going to leave you guys with.
Dude, Jack, man, thank you so much for joining us, dude. I think this has been super informative. A lot of people are going to be super excited about this. If you're tuned into the live stream right now, I've got 38 concurrent viewers right now at this moment. So thank you all for sticking around. Obviously, this man has some brilliant things he is talking about and going to be doing some more innovative stuff coming up. Please smash that subscribe button, because we're trying to be able to embed these live streams right there on Twitch. That's really
we got to get to 1,000, right? I think we're at like, the last time I checked, we were like
almost 300.
We are growing pretty fast.
We're getting
we are growing pretty fast.
It's a process. I'm just going to keep saying it. Eventually it'll happen. But
I'm telling you, I had that vision a long time ago.
Thank you, Jack.
Jack, thank you so much. Seriously.
Anytime.
Man,
You're welcome to come back.
I would even venture to say you are the most based MF on Twitch right now. Probably in in the entire BSV community.
Our base
you
champion.
Are based Jack.
That's all anyone's saying in this chat. Base.
Base.
I'm not even watching the chat, and it's all.
You could just feel that bass.
Well, guys, thank you everybody for watching. Smash like. Let's at least have 38 likes on this. Share it on everywhere so they could see everything that goes through Jack Blue's head in regards to this. But I wish we had way more time. And we would love to have you back on to talk to you more about your personal, get away from the whole, thing and just learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Happy to come back on anytime. Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, Jack.
Later.
Bye.
Did you end the stream?
I'm working on it.